each other's mental space. If you ever need me, just call. I'ma come running, give it my all. Love is love, God wins. Keep your vibrations high and watch how your blessings.
We've been journeying in the wrong direction this whole time. We've been journeying outside of ourselves. Why?
Rough to wise, talk to him.
Spent a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Maybe this is the year right here. Energy. Go within. There's something inside of us. We gotta do better collectively, you know? Right? Energy. Go within. There's something inside of us. We gotta do better collectively, you know? Energy. The first stage is realizing that you are. That's the first step. Confront yourself. Realizing that you are. Energy. Spent a long time on here pushing out knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They can't put negative notions on us. Think about it. Great things is happening, whether they want to believe it or not. Maybe this is the year right here. This is the year for it right here. Right? Energy. Go within. There's something inside. We gotta do better collectively, you know? Go within. There's something inside. We gotta do better collectively, you know? One's image of oneself should be greater than reality. Don't let nobody tell you that you ain't great, because you are.
Rough to wise.
Energy.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Namaste, Ashe, salutation, shalom, peace. Hope everyone is doing great out there. Today, I want to talk to you about a lot of things today, right? One main important thing I want to talk about is DNA and how it is changing based off of the ascension or solar flares or some type of process of what is, always was, always will be, as above, so below, as without, so within. And it ties to everything. It ties to everything. Not only the idea that we are actually running on 23 chromosomes. That conversation would have to change. The chromosome conversation would have to change. If these solar flares are changing our DNA and certain strands are awakening in our DNA because of the solar flares, and 9 times out of 10, you don't even know these solar flares are affecting you because you're probably asleep during the time that this is happening. If you study it, they'll tell you that a lot of these solar flares are happening at 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, right? And it is doing something to us. And if we go into a sleep state, then that would be a whole different conversation, because according to the biblical text, it tells you that your dreams are God's interpretations. And that goes back to the story of Joseph, right? And interpreting the dreams, the 7 baskets with the 7 crows, the 7 years of good famine, the 7 years of bad famine, so on and so forth, right? And through different variations and measures of this, we get an understanding of what is taking place with our DNA, right? Certain RN strands are awakening. And according to what I studied, you can only get RN strands from your mother's seed. Fathers don't plant that, right? And this is why women are so important in this world as far as the vessels that they operate, right? Yes, it is a feminine energy, but the vessel of a woman is very important for the thought process of a woman is what birth is nations, right? If you have a woman that is thinking about shaking her ass, going out to the club, so on and so forth, her offsprings are going to probably have some sort of a mindset of that because of the raising, right? In the house, partying, let's all get wasted, so on and so forth, however you want to look at it. But if one held themselves to a higher standard, then they would put that or install that into the youth, because this is the process of creating characters. The biblical text says that you cannot grow in the physical, or you can't grow in the mental and the spiritual until you are here in the physical plane first, right? So once you're here in the physical plane, then you begin to grow in the mind and the spirit, right? So we have to break down this of what is considered to be DNA, because the chemicals of what our DNA is changing, right? Our 12 strands are awakening, right? Something is happening within inside the vessels of mankind. Everybody is going through some type of effect one way or another, rich or poor. It doesn't matter what color you are or anything, something is taking place inside of us. We all feel it, we all know it. We can't quite put our finger on it. That's why it's the unknown, right? But we know something is shifting inside of us. Some people are getting certain variations of energies back as far as their passions go. Some people are going through waves of this where, during one time they just feel passionate and through, like everything's about to happen in great ways. And then they go through a depression state. This is the wave, right? But everybody is going through something one way or another, right? And due to the fact that we're going through something in our spirit inside of us, right? We have to create a physical expression of what the spirit is going through, right? This is where people vibrate in and out your life, when you are expressing your spirit into this physical, right? And this is where the confusion comes in, because we pull in the feelings and emotions of this. This is the duality of it, right? Logically, none of it makes sense. Feelings and emotions wise, we have to accommodate for some type of understanding of our feelings and emotions, right? The expression of it, right? So however you look at this, the world is changing. Maybe somewhere along the line we misplaced history, right? And these root races that is within inside of our vessel. Maybe somewhere the knowledge was lost between the Egypt and Sumerian and mythologies and so on and so forth, or even the galactic wars. If you go back far enough, it's a reason why someone can tell you that certain you know asteroid or a certain something hasn't been seen in the sky for 80,000 years, right? If you look at these numbers, don't add up, because if you say that mankind is only 2,000 years old, and this is not accurate, but let's say mankind is labeled to be a certain age, right? And you got the history of before that. How do you have the history of before that if mankind wasn't here? Who wrote down the history? Who kept the knowledge of this, right? Who passed it along to us in order for us to know the history of the Astros, and the Atlas comet hasn't been seen in over 80,000 years, and this, that, and the third? Who wrote it down? Who kept tides of this stuff? Someone was keeping great tides on our astrology, and tying it to not only religion but even the basic things of what we doing down here now, right? There's a reason why a lot of the vehicles that you drive are named after star systems, colonies, so on and so forth, right? There's a reason why a lot of the gods are named after planets, right? There's a reason why, or planets named after gods, however you want to look at it. There's a reason why a lot of what we depict down here ideally comes from the sky, right? Even if you go to the Dogon tribe, in Africa, West Africa. However, they said that they came from a star colony, right? Nobody could have dare understood this at the time because they didn't have telescopes. There wasn't no science schools or anything like that. I mean, this tribe didn't even have, they didn't even have the modern day stuff that we have now, right? So however you looking at it, there's a lot of history that is still a mystery, right? And as we try to move forward with this, we would like to try to comb through some of this history that is a mystery, right? And it's it should be fun, right? Because I felt, sometimes I feel like we get into the carnal a lot and we dig into the carnal and we forget to put the knowledge back where it's supposed to be. I understand we have to feed the feelings and the emotions, of this plane as far as entertaining goes, as far as dealing with each other goes, but there's still a certain level of knowledge that the spirit inside the vessel craves. There's still a certain level of knowledge that the mind needs, in order for one to become wise, right? You can't just you don't just wake up one day and you're wise, right? What makes someone wise is what they do with the knowledge that they have taken in, right? You take in a certain amount of knowledge, and how you use that knowledge is what makes you wise, right? And then oneself never perceives themselves as wise. It is always the outside entities that perceive someone to be wise. So you really can't even put this title on yourself. Someone else would have to put this title on you, and then you would have to accept it as, and that's with a lot of things in this world. A lot of these titles is not something that we put on ourselves. It's something that someone else, uh, gave to us, however you want to look at it. But the world is changing, right? The ascension into earth, and you can look this up. I implore you to look this stuff up. If you are on YouTube, or if you're on TikTok, if you're on Twitch right now, look this stuff up that I'm showing you. Don't be afraid to pull out your laptop, computer, or your phone and look up one of these names that are on these backdrops. This is what I show these backdrops for, so you can look it up yourself, right? I'm not just up here telling you something and not telling you where to find it, not telling you where to go to search, right? Those who are willing will, put themselves into that action to go seek it out, right? And that's what the Bible says. It says, seek all the knowledge for the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is inside of you. So we're supposed to put all the knowledge of this world inside of us. Somehow, some way, we're supposed to be craving this knowledge and searching for it and journeying for it. Scholars don't just stop once they graduate college or whatever. You are supposed to be in a forever learning. And this is probably why it said a man can't eat off of bread alone, because this is probably what we have to also feed off of. The brain is much older than the body, right? The brain has a history or a connection to this world that we don't even understand yet. We're still studying that, right? So however you want to look at this, your brain is yearning for something. Something is missing in this world, and it's probably knowledge. The ether that is in this world dictates, and it's everybody just want to put something in the phone now, right? I mean, that's why ether is in our computer systems and so on and so forth, allegedly, right? So however you look at this, we're forgetting about the one true intelligence, which is our brain. We giving everything to artificial, but we're forgetting to put back into the brain, which is the brain. You give everything else to which is, right? Give to the flesh, which is the flesh, right? Give to the brain, which belongs to the brain, knowledge, wisdom, right? And give to the spirit, which belongs to the spirit, kindness, love, right? These are simple things, but we complicate this world. We complicate this world. If you practice kindness, you practice, empathy, you know, apathy, whatever it is, you got to practice these things. And you also have to approach people like babies, deal with people as if they don't know, right? Now, once you tell them and they know, then that falls on them what they do with it after that, right? If you tell somebody, hey, don't go into them woods for anyone who went into them woods has not returned thus far, right? You gave them the warning as a watchtower, as an observer, as a, spiritual being, right? The problem is they are forcing a carnal ideology into a spiritual mindset, right? A spiritual mindset doesn't mean you're not going to go through trials and tribulations in this carnal world. That's the duality, right? But you are supposed to practice that spiritual mindset inside yourself repeatedly. It's not saying I'm not going to have car trouble. It's not saying that everybody's going to agree with me. It's not saying that I'm going to always get, no, it's still other entities that is in charge of operating their vessel, right? And you can't force them to operate their vessel properly. You can only put the knowledge back into the world and hope everyone wants to have that level of responsibility and control over oneself, right? If it's 72 demons inside the soul of man, if everybody ain't if people ain't trying to understand, like, oh, okay, so demons are more so feelings and emotions, and these feelings and emotions could get out of control, and one must have control over these feelings and emotions. And you say, what feelings and emotions? You say, well, gluttony, is that not a feeling or an emotion or whatever you want to call it, right? Greed, envy, or are these things that don't apply to the lower vibrational frequency of oneself? You can find yourself in envy. You can find yourself envious of somebody. If you watch somebody for a long time constantly have it their way and still never showed any gratitude, you could be envious of that. Why is that person not thankful? Man, if I had that person, if I had that life, I would be so grateful. If my mom cared about me like that. So you can find yourself in any of these frequencies. It's how you get out of it. What's up? What's going on? Shout out to the Twitch. We are on Twitch, right? We slowly but surely accumulating numbers on Twitch. That's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. We are on Energy of Atlas on TikTok, and shout out to the people on Energy of Atlas on TikTok. Appreciate you guys for being over there tapping the screen. We are live. I don't want anyone to think this is a recording. This is a live broadcast, and we are operating on multiple platforms at this time. Also, I implore you guys to join the Atlas Network Agency. If you want to take yourself serious, become a brand, we can help you do that. If you don't know what topics it is, current events, anything to talk about, it's people on here that are building around their self, that are making bank, right? And all you have to do is apply yourself to it, right? When it comes to TikTok, people are making bank over there, and you're thinking, how are they doing it? It's because they have a network of friends. Social media goes a long way if you allow yourself to embrace it, right? For the people that's on here that's scaring people away from technology, the people that's on here that's trying to put you in an indifference, thinking that it's not, you're never going to get help on here or whatever the case may be, they're the problem, right? Technology is not the problem. It's based off how you use it, right? The people who are using it in a negative way, they're the problem. The people who are, not being real with the resources that people are providing them, right? They're the problem. This is why we try to operate with as much transparency as possible, but still try to keep the people in our lives safe, right? So this is why at the Atlas family, we operate with transparency. I try to tell you guys what's going on, what's the move, what's the wave, right? We got a lot of work to do, right? And I know a lot of y'all are skeptical of your support, right? As far as supporting something, you want to support something, you want to make sure it's real, you want to make sure it's tangible, you want to make sure it's moving forward with growth and development. And that's understandable. Everybody wants to see it. It's nothing like going out, planting a garden and watching what you plant grow, right? Enjoying the fruits of your labor, as they say, right? So if you're going to invest in something, if you're going to invest in somebody where you can enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? With everything that they're doing, they're operating with as much kindness and compassion as possible. I understand everybody's not going to see it our way, right? As we move forward and operate in love and light, unity, laughter, right? The cartoons start coming out, the videos start coming out for the songs that we have. And we have, up to 10 songs. We haven't figured out how to put it on an MP3 yet. We haven't figured out how to put it together yet. Maybe I can get in touch with somebody that's familiar with all of that, and we can proceed. But however you look at this, great things is happening over here. And it doesn't matter how many people we lose, right? More people will start coming in, right? So for the people that's here for the gossip, for the people that was here for the downfall of Ralph the Wise, or, see if they can break us, whatever the case may be, I'm glad that they're moving along now, right? I'm glad that they're moving along. I'm glad that they realize, okay, now it's like, you know how you have a chance to say, aha, nana nana boo boo, I told you so, right? A lot of times the universe will give you this chance a lot faster now, because we're in the Aquarius, guys. So when people do to you, that's why it says do unto others how you want done unto yourself, because it's happening faster now. So now that we're in this air, in this sky, right, you have to be careful what you want done onto other people, right? And this is where pure intentions come from. Even though we joke over here and we laugh a lot over here, right? Our intent is pure, and it always has been, right? And this is something that they despise, right? They want you to operate off of anger. They want you to operate off of, think about it, right? And it's not they as in a sense of people or group, right? It's an energy, right? This is why the Bible says the devil will always appear to you in the form of a man, because it is an energy that's moving through us, right? And you can do devilish things, right? Think about it like magma and lava, right? Inside the earth, it's called magma, but once it comes outside the earth, it's called lava, right? Now think about that as an energy, right? Inside the vessel, it is a Luciferian energy. Outside, it's called devilish activity, right? And if you think about it like that, you'll never get those confused. You'll never get it confused. One is just a build up for the action of the other, right? Luciferian energy is the build up for the action of devilish shit, right? So the devil will always appear to you in the form of a man, because Luciferian energy will always exist in mankind. The ones in the chat, if that makes sense, because I don't want to confuse anybody, and I want to make sure everyone is in an understanding of this. But let's move on for my ADHD kick in, and I'll take you guys in a whole different direction. Okay. No taps. That's how y'all doing me, TikTok? No taps. It's always better than that. Somebody hit the heart me up here. Join the team. Yes, there's a lot of activity in the pineal gland. That's the beauty of this right now. And that's why I said the battle was not ours, it was the Lord's. You know what I mean? And I hope you enjoy the stream. Also, I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. We are monetized on YouTube right now on Ralph the Wise. So I employ everyone to go over there on Ralph the Wise. For the people that's over on TikTok, come on over to Ralph the Wise. That is Ralph D.A. Wise on YouTube. Come on over there. You can see different backdrops that we have up over there, so on and so forth. So come on over. Listen, great things is happening right now. People are coming into a grander understanding. It might not be as a reflecting, in the physical plane, that takes time because man created time. Man is the last to know. But inside the minds of the multitude, great things are happening. And, people's state of being is shifting, right? You're probably going to watch a different variety of people change. And this is the beautiful thing about, driving on the road and stuff like that. I stop at these way stations and I see people out there grounding and stuff like that, taking their, shoes off, touching grass, grounding and stuff. And that's a beautiful thing because when you see it, that you're not the only one in that spiritual setting. You're not the only one looking for peace. You're not the only one. Now, everybody might be looking for it in a different way, in a different sense, or going about it in different, attitudes, however, but everyone is searching for some sense of peace and some sense of direction, right? We're at a time where we're not in a grander understanding of which way this world is going, right? We're not in a grander understanding of which way this world is going. I mean, we would like to think that we are, but as of right now, a lot of people are in a state of confusion. And there could be some people that want to keep you in that state of confusion. But here at the Atlas family, we aim to see you through it, right? We aim to see you through it because we know what it is that we are all going through collectively. And when you know what everyone's going through collectively, you'll practice more kindness. You'll practice more, compassion. You'll try to be in a grander understand. Now, everybody's not going to see this. Everybody's not going to, feel that way. Everybody's not going to have that notion of it. And that's okay. We are all entitled to our own opinions, feelings, and emotions. That's what comes with obtaining a vessel down here, right? You're free to operate your vessel according to how you want to operate your vessel, and as am I, right? And it's not to say that one is right, one is wrong. It's just practicing the understanding of it, right? Some people private, some people out in the open, however you want to look at it. If you find a collective that is in that state, then it's, state of being, then it's probably best to build with that collective, right? The meek shall inherit the earth. That's someone that's humble, right? And it also says the hairlock should inherit the earth. And if you look at Uranus, which is a planetary energy that exists, it rules the Aquarius sky. And we're in that Aquarius sky right now. And Uranus comes with two energies. It is known as the heavenly planet or the son of heaven. And it is also known as Lilith. So those are the two energies that Uranus comes with. And if you are known to, or what is Lilith, then you can probably see the operation of Lilith in a multitude of vessels down here. And no one wants to admit this operation due to the fact that, we manipulated the words and created different words for it and stuff like that. And now you just think it's your prerogative. But however you want to look at it, a lot of people are in the operation of Lilith. And, let's be honest, Medusa's head is not helping us right now. A lot of people are froze by Medusa. And the reason why I use these terminologies, because those who know exactly what I'm talking about. They know the operation of this stuff. They know that this is considered to be a gladiator school. They know that the things that was written in the text was things that we should accomplish down here in order to become greater within inside oneself, right? There was groups of people who actually operated into this method of mindset where they evolved. They started to change and they didn't understand the change, and they probably documented it as far as their eating habits change as they become more disciplined over their body. You notice there might have been a time where milk seemed to agree with you, but now a lot of people are lactose intolerant, don't even know it, right? And why wouldn't that be the same for meats and stuff like that? What if there is a time frame that you can consume meats and stuff, and then there's a time frame where you're supposed to put that stuff behind you also. This is why a lot of people are in the mindsets of becoming pescatarian or vegan now, because your mind is telling you like, okay, it's time to give up the lower vibrational things, but you're not in the knowing of this. You're not in the knowing of these timelines or time phrases when your digestive system is changing, and you're not supposed to keep on indulging in the meat and stuff, because your digestive system is changing into a Uranus operation instead of a Saturn operation, and you might not understand that. This is why people probably became breatharians, or whatever the name of it is. I always mess up the name. And they started eating air. People were eating air. Can you imagine eating an air sandwich? They did a study. You can go look it up. One guy, they actually, test them out and stuff. But your digestive system is changing. And when you sleep at night, your digestive system goes into a reverse method. A lot of people, I want to tell you this, and this is a trick, and you can try this. This is a trick right here. Listen, I'm about to give you guys a big secret, right? You might want to get your pockets, you might want to get that Cash App link ready and hit me up on Cash App, because what I'm about to tell you is something great that you should know. Okay, hold on. What happened? Electric Boogie. Wobble. Oh, okay. So that video with the kids and stuff in it yesterday cannot be monetized and is blocked in some territories. Okay. So yeah, we might have to put that one on members only. All right, you ready for this? This is a great secret right here. And if Left Eye was here, she'll tell you. But listen. If you want to meet your higher self, right? See how long you can go without eating. I mean, of course, you're going to have to gradually do this, because you can't just stop eating, because depending on how much you eat is how much your acid creates in your stomach. So you want to gradually do this, right? You want to try to slow down your meals, slow down your intake, so that way your acid will not eat its way through your stomach, however you want to look at it, because your body produces the amount of acid based off of the food that you're putting in it. So when you are eating meats and stuff like that, breads and stuff, your body is going to produce a lot of acid to break that stuff down. So you want to start coming off of some of those heavier products, pork, beef, then maybe chicken, go into a turkey, come out of that turkey, go into a fish, right? Come out of that fish and go into fruits and vegetables, and then try a fast, right? Don't just do no cold turkey stuff, because then you're going to have acid reflux. It's a whole different, stomach. You don't want ulcers. You don't want bleeding ulcers. You don't want the acid leaking out of your stomach, so on and so forth. If you are taking like some of those acid reflux pills, be careful. They do stop the production of acid in your stomach. This is why a lot of people get bigger when they take the acid reflux pills, because of the low production of acid. And they're not going to tell you this stuff. This is the benzo. However you want to look at this, I'm not going to get into that part of it. Allegedly, supposedly. But our body is changing. The structure of our body is changing. Your eating habits is changing. Do you not feel the sense to be healthier right now? Do you not feel that urge to go to the gym, jog, run, you know what I'm saying? Do your Pilates, get your body back. And a lot of this is, y'all better step into this. Stella getting her groove back right now. You sexy. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that's taking place. People are misplacing what's happening right now, because they're looking at it and like, oh, all these people just care about their body and stuff like that, because your mind is telling you like, okay, mind, body, and spirit all must be aligned. So you're trying to do the physical expectation of what the spirit is telling you to do, right? Get right, right? A lot of people are getting right in the physical because their mind is telling them something needs to get right. So they're like applying it to the physical or the carnal state of being instead of applying it to the spiritual state of being, or both, right? I like to apply it to both. This is why I keep a regular workout regimen, and I also like to put in the knowledge and the wisdom and bring forth this, but like I said, great things are happening around us, and that's beautiful, and we're all a part of it. We're all journeying down this path together, and great things are happening. But feel free to look this up. This is another and I ain't going to say encrypted, but this is a terminology of transfer, right? If energy transfers, then we have to look at the structure of what takes place inside the water of the vessel transferring, right? Light water, dark water transfer, right? And we could be seeing this transfer of light and dark water. And a lot of people might have told you about this, or you might have heard about it, but this is considered to be the universal time matrix, right? And this tells you about your vessel, about as above, so below. It's a lot in one picture. It's a lot in one picture. So we're going to try to break this down as best as possible. And you guys got to bear with me. Keep the high activity in the comment section. If you're over on TikTok, please tap the screen, share the live. If you're over on YouTube, please share the live and hit that like button, right? Right now things are taking place, and it's a beautiful thing. A shift is taking place, and it's a beautiful thing. Knowledge and wisdom is being put back into this world in a great way, and a lot of people might not understand exactly what I'm saying, but you can watch it through the duality, right? This is why a lot of people come against the knowledge that I put out there, right? Or try not to speak about it, right? And maybe they're upset. I don't know. I don't perceive to know what's taking place in the vessels of someone else, right? I am ecstatic that the universe has given me an opportunity to translate or understand any of this, right? I am ecstatic that somewhere down the line, something took place during the transfer of kinetic energy from my mother to my father that birthed me, that allows me to have a level of intellect that is beyond measures, right? I am ecstatic that, the universe has given me an open mind that allows me to perceive endless possibilities of realities, right? A lot of people don't have this ability to have the enthusiasm that, you watch a lot of people in your life, and you're probably looking at people that are in a standstill, right? You're probably watching uncles and aunts and older siblings, and you're like, they're still living the same way. They got comfortable somewhere. Evolution stopped with inside of them, and they got comfortable with where they were at, because we're creatures of habit. We're supposed to rise above that habit, right? We're supposed to rise above that habit, become better than that habit, right? And become greater with inside of ourselves. That's the only way you're going to see a greatness on the outside, if one becomes greater with inside their self first, right? You're not going to see a change on the physical plane until something on the inside says, you know what, we got to do better. And if we are not doing that collectively, then we're failing each other, right? We have a great chance here to show people what it is that we want to put back into this world, right? And we're not giving it back to the youth. You guys are still reminiscing. If I'm to say, a lot of people are still in a reminiscent mindset. You got old heads that's still trying to live out their wonder years, They not giving it to the youth. They not going out there finding the talent. What they doing? They still telling you that they can do it all. Huh? The Eddie Kanes of the world. You see them popping out. You see Stony. You see Stony and them popping out. It's not Storm. It's Stone, guys. It's not Storm. It's Stone, guys. A lot of you guys keep on calling me Storm, and I just want to say it's Stone. Get your ass out of here and go find some youth that's talented and put back into the next generation. Go find the youth. We don't want to see your old ass twinkling and glistening with diamonds and golds on, talking about some, yeah, here in the industry, guys, we look out for each other. We're like brothers. We're a band of, sit your ass down and go take care of our youth like you should have been. Go invest in the youth like you should have been. You sitting here want praises and this, that, and the third. Go make a change in the world greater than yourself. Sitting on here with old ass I don't even know his name anymore, Meech, whatever his name is, sitting on here 70 years old trying to take your shirt off and shit, looking like Skeletor, talking about some, yeah, you don't talk to me, you don't do this. Sit your ass down and get the hell out of here with that womanizing ass shit. Talking about women ain't supposed to talk when men talking. Well, get your ass in a sauna then so you could be in a room full of men and y'all figure some shit out. Sitting on here trying to make us go back into some fucking it's a man's world type of shit. And all these women out there praising that dumbass shit. So he's sitting there talking about women shouldn't talk and she should sit down and let the man guide and da-da-da-da-da. That type of mindset is what fucked up the world in the first place. And y'all sitting there like, oh, Stone is so this and this. No, they not. They not. They not nothing of what they making themselves out to be. Stop playing in our face. These motherfuckers out here doing some Zeus Network baddie shit. Baddies, pose for me. Fat ass, slim steak, no stomach. Sit your ass down. We don't want your ass. Get your ass out of here. Talking about, yeah, and now we beefing with Jaguar. Da, 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 da. Shut. Are you serious? Are you serious? Y'all let that man sit there and say he will fight her, and all of y'all made excuses for it, talking about something. If somebody did that to her right now, it's excuse. No, it's never fucking excusable. And y'all sat there and y'all let that man say that shit, and nobody said nothing. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Y'all sitting there praising and giving praises to the wrong vessels. These weird ass, old ass, fragile ass, punch you in your chest and break your ankle ass niggas. I wish I would. I wish I would. They sitting there talking about get my name right. Get my name right. It's Stone. Don't call me Storm. If you was as fuck, if your accolades actually added up to what, you wouldn't even give a fuck what people was out here calling you. And a lot of you guys are calling me Storm, and it's Stone. That's sad. That's sad that you got to try to tell people what your name is. We don't care if your name was Osh Gosh Bagosh. I'm sorry. That was my ADHD kicked in. I slid away from the lesson. I'm sorry. I slid away. Somebody got to remind me. Where's my reminders at? You're supposed to be putting 111 in there so I can. All right. So now you have two realities that can form out of this. Not only as above, so below, but you have two realities that can actually come from this, right? One is a shadow phantom reality, right? This phantom earth is that dark space. It is that void. It is that reincarnation into a lower vibration darkness, right? And then you also have the other space, which is the positive, right? This is the polarity that we practice with inside of ourselves, equally yoked on this plane, right? And this is the practice of that, right? And different variations of understanding has been given and came in through Brahmarama understanding, which is the fire within. A lot of Hindus and Indians know about this mastery of knowledge, right? And then you have the divine blueprint, which is the Christ blueprint. It's the 12th, right? This is the understanding of that. But these are all, different states of minds, right? And this is where the ascendant masters come from, right? When one persona says that they are ascendant master, You know, this is where that comes from. You go through a shaman like state, you go through a state of Buddhism where you realize that, you know, you can deal with things with a closed fist or an open palm. You come into different variations of the knowledge of the elephant, because you know that an elephant never forgets. An elephant holds all the knowledge. This is a Buddhist understanding, right? And you'll go through these different states of yourself. You might not know that you're going through it, but everyone is going through different states of being, right? When you get into the Elohim of oneself, this is where a collective mindset comes in. This is where you come into a grander understanding that you are not the only one in a possible position of a unification with the universe. There's a multitude of us in that. And this is when you are accepting the ascension process and coming out of a personal mind and moving into a collective mind, right? Or a planetary mind, however you want to look at this, right? A lot of people are stuck in their personal mind, right? This is where the ego is. This is why it says the house of ego must die, or however you want to look at it, because this is where the ego is. And a lot of people are stuck within their pride or their ego, which is stopping them from ascending. And the reason why I say this is because how many people are watching the world operate on regret, revenge, hurt, pain, or some sort or another, right? A lot of our Black people right now think that we need to pay somebody back for what our ancestors been through, right? But the history of what our ancestors been through is something that was told to us from the same people that put us through it. Now, why would they tell us the story of that instead of a true story of how great you were? It doesn't make sense. I don't expect nothing in this world to be what it is, because I'm challenging everything. I'm questioning everything. You can't take the story or the history of your people from the same people that put you in oppression in the first place. That doesn't make sense. They don't know the history. They giving you the history, right? That they want you to have. And that goes back through like the Willie Lynch serum of how to, enslave mankind for 2,000 years, however you want to look at it, right? So, and it's no need for any such measures. What is, always was, and always will be. The shape and the way this world has become is not the direction that this world is going in. And somewhere down the line, we have to realize that the direction of the world should nowhere near be shaped by the past, right? The direction that we move forward should be shaped in a open-mindedness, a level of understanding that allows us to bridge the gap, right? If we keep on looking at things of the past, then the direction of the future will always be divisive or in a dividing measure, because you are focused on mistakes of the past instead of saying that we can grow past those mistakes or become better than those mistakes. How is it that racism is still alive after everything that everybody been through? Do we not remember Pearl Harbor? Do we not remember Fukushima? Do we not remember the concentration camps? How the fuck is we still looking at each other differently? It's not making sense. And excuse my French, but it just irritates me sometimes. It just irritates me sometimes that we don't, I like to try to perceive the beauty in everyone. I think everyone holds a certain level of beauty. I don't like the mindset of someone who can look at somebody else and because of the color of their skin, they deem that person to be ugly or not worthy. Like, that is the craziest shit ever to me. And I don't get it. And I'll never get it. I'm not trying to get it. It's that it doesn't matter how many stories you tell me, you'll never get me to get that. You'll never. I'm going to continue to love. I'm going to continue to look at people for how they carry themselves, and I see beauty in that. I see beauty in people's kindness. I see beauty in people's generosity. I see beauty in how people think about it. What something gave you hope when you was a kid, right? When you went to the store and you got that free item. I remember being a kid and getting an opportunity where where I wanted something, I didn't have it, and somebody was like, man, here's a couple $, go get you some stuff. That gave me hope in this world. You see a lot of people right now, they looking at kids going through stuff and they want them kids to go through it. Grand Rising. They want them kids to go through it. I let the other ones out back. You probably just got to let them in. Oh, okay. And that's the truth of this, man. And look, for anybody that want to support, I am trying to, go pick up Sincere and Nasir today. After I get off live, I'm gonna go try to, pick them up. So if anybody want to hit the Cash App, please hit the Cash App. Like I said, the universe is moving in a great way, and I'm just going to trust in the universe and continue to move with that. The first step is getting them. If we have to come back to my sister's house and stay here for a little bit, then fine. But I just want to get them because there's a lot of stuff going on around them. I feel it. I feel it with the summertime coming back up, them becoming adults and everything. I feel like, you ever feel like, somebody's got to prove something in this world? Like, I feel like my kids are going through that state of trying to prove that they're men right now, and they might step into the wrong thing, or somebody else might decide that, they shouldn't have the opportunity to become great. You know what I mean? And I see that in this world more. Whenever someone is thinking highly of their self or great of their self, someone comes along and tear them down. And I don't know, but right now I feel like I need to, and I always keep in touch with my kids as far as conversation goes. The paths that they chose is based off of an understanding of my relationship with their mom and the understanding of how much they love their mother. So I separated myself from the situation because of, the respect level that I carry for her bringing life into this world or choosing me. However, I don't even know. It doesn't even matter, right? The reality of it is I need to get more hands-on with both my sons. They're graduating on the 31st of this month. They both walk the stage on the 31st. So yes, we already took care of the cap and gown and stuff. I sent the money for the cap and gown and stuff. I'm not what these people perceive me to be. And you guys will get to see that I'm not what these people perceive me to be. I'm not the richest person in the world. My riches come with the knowledge and how the impact that I leave on people. You guys will see there's a lot of people in my physical life who miss my presence, but I separated myself because there's a lot of things that we have to get right with inside of ourselves before we can go help other people. And when you come from nothing and still have this thirst to help other people, it becomes frustrating, right? You start giving people more than what you have, and people start taking more than what they need. And I think through exemplary measures, we can change this variation of what is, always was, and always will be. And maybe, just maybe, we're all hurting inside. Just just think for a second. Whatever it is, we're all going through it. Okay? Ladies, you're not the only ones going through it. Okay? I need you guys to be a little bit more kinder to these men out here. They're going through something. Okay? And you might not see it, but they're all going through it. I need you to ease up a little bit. We're trying to prove ourselves. And we're getting pulled in so many directions. We're trying to prove ourselves as a job. We're trying to prove ourselves to our friends. We're trying to prove ourselves to our household. We're trying to prove ourselves to society. We're trying to prove ourselves to God. Come on. Come on. Why y'all acting like y'all see all the things on y'all plate, but act like y'all don't see the things on our plate? And that's the same that goes for the men out there too. Lighten up on these women. You see the things that's on their plate. They got to bring life into a world that's unsteady. They got to bring life into the world and worry about that life that they bring into this world. And they know this world is challenging. They know this world is hard. Don't be so quick to jump into arguments and frustration, but always question celebrations. Why are y'all so quick to jump into arguments and frustration, but then hesitant when it comes to celebrations? Life is worth living. Justin Bieber said it. Yeah, Justin Bieber said, life is worth living. Ooh. Huh? Well, I need to put a song to it. I got to put a song to it for you guys to get it. All right, then. Song break.
Atlas holding us down while keeping us high. With the law of one, we reach for the sky. His arms so strong, the weight won't break. With every step, he helps us away.
Hey, I'll hit that gas ad. Hit that gas ad.
Move as one, moving in love. Move as one, moving in love.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I'm great. How's everything with you?
Everything is beautiful.
That's what's
How's
up.
everything with you?
Hey, getting better every day.
That's what I like to hear.
Getting better every day. How's your son?
Oh my gosh, taller than me.
I know that's
He's
right.
officially taller than me now.
I know that's right. Sprouting up there.
Yeah.
That's what's
He
up.
started working. He's working his first job, and yeah, time flies when you're having fun, right?
I know that's right. We are over on YouTube now. So go to Ralph the Wise on YouTube. We're over on YouTube. For the people that's on YouTube, this is a friend from TikTok that throughout the years we kept in contact. It's a lot of people over on TikTok that y'all don't know. So as we move into this union, you guys are going to get to know the TikTok family going to get to know the YouTube family. We bigger than they saying we are. That's why we always been a problem over here on YouTube. They know we bigger than what they saying we are. And there's a lot of positive energy that's flowing through this network of ours. It might look small, but we just spaced out perfectly.
Small lovers.
Well, we like to make them think that. But yeah, so greater things is happening. And hey, I promise you, however we look at this, you know, once I go out to this place and check out this place, then I'll get an idea of, you know, the homestead direction. We got a couple of places in Detroit too. And then if I get back in touch with the Life Farms, the guy in Florida, then maybe, but I'm not sure. We have to find a way to unify with this carnal, with, you know, I don't know how to do it. It's like the carnal minded people is not accepting the spiritual people or the intellectual beings, and everything is about coitus.
Right.
Everybody just want to make coitus. I'm tired of making coitus. I'm tired of fucking. No, I'm joking. No more locked doors. Gracias. Right. Got the wire. Hey, appreciate the super sticker. Appreciate the super sticker. So yeah, like I said, over here on YouTube, for the people that's on YouTube, if you want to grow your pages, listen, I'm going to show you how to become a multi platform because this is what you have to do. You have to look at the platforms, right? Facebook might show a certain level of growth, but you have to remember Facebook is recommended based off of your friends list. So if you ain't friends with somebody, then it's not going to give you a suggestion of whether you know that person or not, right? And then Instagram does the same thing, right? So it locks you in a certain group, right? TikTok actually allows you to broadcast everywhere. So if you're going to build a platform, whether it be Twitch, Kick, or Purple app, Green app, whatever app, the best way to do it is build a TikTok page first and then tell the people from the TikTok page to go to the page that you want them to go to, whether it be YouTube or any of the other places, because TikTok grows fast. It grows fast. Within a month time, you could be looking at 10,000, right? If not more, if you don't hit a viral video. So we can use these to build better networks of positivity. It's not like we have an application that you can just go and watch, you know, butterflies and rainbows and stuff like that. If it was, I would have downloaded it already, because that's through the power of Nicholas Tesla 369 method. You know, however you want to look at it, things are happening faster. So we're not under a 369, we're actually under a 963, which is a godlike frequency, and things are just manifesting a lot faster for us. So you want to practice certain variations of this. And if you don't know, this is a thing based off of the timeline. You see, it says start to eat high vibrational diets. It says that at the bottom. It says practice compassion, forgiveness, gratitude, wisdom. Continue raising your vibrational daily, right? And if you see on the side, there's an arrow that's going up, right? It says from 2018 to 2020, these are the things. And then as it goes into 2020 to 2030, you see it's going up. So on this, you want to start at the bottom and look and then start going up, right? And then it says time and events speed up, right? Timelines merge and split. That's what's happening right now. If you are not in the process of manifestation, then that's what's happening right now. Time is speeding up. So the process of how we manifest things into our reality are becoming faster now, right? This is why you might speak somebody into, you know, you might say a name and they'll pop up, right? Cat Williams told you that. If you invoke the power of saying their name, then they're allowed to pop up, right? And if we host a live and we use that repeated repercussion, right? If we say Cat Williams' name enough, he has to pop up. This is how you invoke, or how you conjure, or how you call a demonic entity. They have to respond. We showed you guys this with Jaguar Wright.
It's true.
You might not have paid attention though.
Law of attraction.
The laws of attraction. And if you study the laws of the cosmos, then one can master their brain through the laws of the cosmos and how to manifest different variations. And we did this before. We did it with Timberland. When we talked about Timberland and the Pinky Dial situation, he popped up on the TikTok and stuck around for about 45 minutes, something like that. And, you know, at the end of it, he said, "Y'all just wanted to say, you know, I'm a good guy and and I help people." And, you know, because we was doing the whole spin of the whole age thing and the infatuation that a lot of these industry people had with Aaliyah. And yeah, it got pretty ugly. But we didn't look for the argument, you know, within that. We could have gave it to him. But we opted out. We opted out. We let him humble himself. Because I started to be like, did you know that y'all was you involved in that shit? That's what I started to say. Yeah, I don't know why. It sounds like you in the rain or something. Or outside. Is it the wind?
Yeah, I heard that too. I'm literally just sitting on my bed. Well, I heard it, and as soon as I muted, I realized it went away. So I don't know.
Right.
You know, they be messing with us. So.
Static feedback.
Like, definitely be messing with us. Are we both about to medicate?
Oh, you seen it?
I heard it,
Oh.
but I was already in the process of doing it too. So
Yeah. There you go.
the mind.
And yeah, as you move up, you see it says Space Force reveals existing and secret space programs and ET. We see that with different variations of things that are coming out of the Pentagon right now. It says Q plus alliance, and I'm not going to read that. That is allegedly we don't, this is where okay. It says dimensional veil thins, right? Manifestation accelerates. Do you see that? It says dimensional veil thins, manifestation accelerates. So the process of how we manifest into this world, it is on an acceleration now. So you got to be careful with what you speak into this world. You got to be careful with how you thinking right now. You got to be in control of your thoughts, your words, and your actions right now. For a man should only get paid by the sweat of his brow, and the brow is actually your pineal chakra. If you look it up, it tells you that the pineal chakra was once called the brow chakra. And just like the 12th chakra was once called the Christ chakra, because Christ walked on water. Christ didn't walk on the water of this plane. Christ walked on the water of mankind, which is the water that is inside the vessel, right? This is why he was crucified on Calvary. Calvary is a part of the brain. Crucify means to multiply tenfold. However, you're looking at this, knowledge and wisdom is being given back to this plane, and you have to have the will to accept it back in. This is why they're so upset with me, because they're like, oh, he's talking about that new age religion. He's trying to bring back new age religion. You can't bring back something that's new. It's either old or it's new. You can't say he's trying to bring back something new. That doesn't make sense. So that means this knowledge has been fought over at one point in time already. That's why people say it's new age or he's trying to bring it back. You can't bring something back that never was here. So it can't be new, right? So this is old shit that y'all been fighting over for how many eons? Huh? How many eons have y'all been fighting over this? Now y'all see somebody else putting knowledge back out there, and the first thing y'all do is come against it.
People prefer to stay asleep.
And see, you know what the problem was? The knot literally asked me where, and he tried to delete the history of it, talking about some, yo, delete that old phone number you got of mine, because that was where I sent him the information of where to get about energies and frequencies. Because he was like, yo, tell me about the Cleopatra needle that you spoke about, that's in that's in the UK, so on and so forth. And I was like, yeah, go to the ascension process, type in such and such, look it up, right? And then all of a sudden, he tried to be like, yeah, man, they'll take your page away from you for talking about that stuff. You can't talk about that stuff. That's why I don't talk about it. All that stuff that you talk about, I know about already. And then all of a sudden, he started attacking my motherfucking page and then start calling himself the chosen one. Get your ass out of here, you fool. That's why you still can't articulate the knowledge. That's why you still can't give it back to the people. That's why you still don't know a way to use it, because it wasn't for you. Oh, you can steal all of it that you want, but you still can't bring it to the people. The universe did not give you the ability to articulate this stuff. So stop playing with these people, lying in their face. So as we move forward into this process, this is why you got to worry about, or look out for these lower vibrational entities, right? This is where the fallen comes in, the Elohims, the Jehovians and stuff like that. This is where all that comes in. This is where that as above, so below. So as above, where you have the higher chakras of yourself, right? So below, there's a duality to that, and this is where that comes in. If you see Anu Elohim up under it, it tells you what makes up Anu Elohim. It is a feline, aquatic, ape, and you, right? So they used the energy of the god and you, right? And they brought in with ape and dolphin and a feline cat, right? They used those three DNA strands in order to create Elohim. And they use this with everything, like Jehovah, Anunnaki. You see up under it, it says bio biopedal dolphin people, right? There was a group called the dolphin people. This is why dolphin birth was allegedly taken out of circulation, right? Exactly. They depict this in movies and cartoons and stuff, but really this is a history of something they're not telling us, but they put it in movies and stuff like that. And they did Disney do it, they all do it. It's called telling us without telling us, because the universe tells them that they have to tell us. Why you think the story of why you think the story of Superman repeats down here over and over 40 years, 50 years? They keep on repeating that story of how one man has all that power. There's somebody down here. They ain't gonna tell you it because they don't want you to accumulate that of one notion of oneself. The children of the future, Professor X and the Professor Xavier's and Stranger Things, how people manipulate the energies of their vessel with salt water and bathing in salt water and conjuring up certain thoughts and stuff like that. Why you think in Louisiana right now your ass will go to jail if you practicing voodoo inside of city limits? Look it up. Look it up. In the state of Louisiana, if you practicing voodoo inside of city limits, your ass can go to jail. Look it up. If it ain't real, why? Why they got a law against it?
Wasn't Superman banned at one point in time, like early 50s?
The story of Superman?
Yeah.
Controversial. It took a while before they can put it in production, yeah. Because you got to remember, if there was I don't know if anybody looked up Valid Thor, but Valid Thor was supposed to be somebody that came and told us to stop using weapons of mass destruction and so on and so forth, allegedly. And he was the only one outside of the military that had access to the Pentagon. And the Pentagon is allegedly, supposedly, energy harvesting center.
Why are they doing that to my sound? I don't understand. I'm in the same room. I'm not doing anything. And
nobody's checking out the Earth Speaks, man. That boy been on here lying for. He's taking information and he's manipulating it, right? That whole idea that he's telling y'all, where he's trying to tell you that his mother's bloodline doesn't matter. Go look up RN. RN is something that's in the DNA that actually comes from the mother. You can't get it from the father. So when it comes to the spiritual aspectation, you have to get it from a Sophic energy that comes from a woman's vessel. You can't plant that seed with a man, right? So for him to sit there and tell people that his mom's blood don't matter and it's all about his father's blood only says that he is being used by an Enki mindset, and an Enki is a semen demon. So you can't tell me that Earth Speaks knows what he's talking about and whatever. He's practicing division. Everything he's putting out is diversity. His mother is white and he's telling people to go against white. It doesn't make sense. And until y'all make that shit make sense, you can never come over here and tell me anything about Earth Speaks. We spoke to Earth Speaks 3 years ago on this app, and he stole our knowledge and then tried to act like he knew about Atlantean. When he seen me putting it out here, he seen me on here for 5 years, 6 years on this app, putting that knowledge out there. I got back end messages where I hit Earth Speak up, and he did some old, yo, talk to Sekhmet. Yo, get in touch with Sekhmet. Like, get the fuck.
Who's here for that?
Playing in y'all face, dividing y'all. Y'all don't even see it. Yeah, some of the stuff that he put out there is right, but some of it is fraudulent. And that's the problem. He's not standing in truth. He's not standing in truth. Look it up. Look it up. If you think I'm lying about the DNA thing, look it up. Him sitting there saying that his mom's blood, that's a slap in the face. Yes, Enki is considered because that's what they practice. It goes back to the Sumerians and the Zechariah Stitchens of what is the gold substance inside the vessel that the Anunnakis used in order to dissolve into their environment to protect them from the sun. It's something that's inside the body. It is the manna that was given to them in the desert. Nobody knows the secret of that manna.
But it's written on the wall.
Earth Speaks will sit there and manipulate the information just to keep people in division and confusion, because he knows there's a rage in this world right now, and he's using people's rage, especially black people, to put them in, anger with other people. That's why he's sitting there talking about, yeah, reptilian. But I want y'all to think about it. If Earth Speaks history was correct, then how is he telling them that white people is the enemy if the fight took place before white was created? That's how you know Earth Speaks history is not correct. You can't tell me that I'm fighting something that fucking wasn't here when the fight started. It don't make sense. So you can never get me to ride with shit that don't make sense. You can't go back to the time of Atlantis and Lemuria and then still say that your fight is against something that was created in the 1600s. Fuck. The fuck? Excuse me. I'm sorry. Why y'all always trying to do that with that Earth Speaks shit? Y'all always trying to do that. Why you think his page getting taken? Huh? Why you don't think he got the Earth Speaks page no more? Why you think they stripped him of that page? Huh? Yeah, I bet. Y'all better get with the knowledge of this world. Let's look, B. Ain't nobody outside. Say your name, stupid. I told you to chill. Wasn't nobody. He swear somebody was about to come in. Yeah, but it's changing. The world is changing. The DNA structure of mankind is changing. And listen, I don't try to combat or try to argue with people about what it is that they perceive this world to be or moving into. There's no point in me arguing that, right? The facts are there, right? And for those who don't think that the facts are there, look it up. It goes with consciousness, it goes with spirituality, right? The lunar consciousness, how to recognize this energy, how to observe it within inside the vessel, the feminine side of the vessel, right? Because in order for the spirit to rise, the spirit is in the void. The spirit must rise up through the void, which is sin. Sin is considered to be the moon. If you look at the moon as duality, as opposite from the sun, then you're looking at the moon as darkness. That's why it says we're born in sin, because the spirit is born in the void. the darkness, and it must rise up through that. This is why they keep you at your heart chakra, keep you in some type of regret, revenge, anger, whatever, so on and so forth. And so the spirit won't rise through the void, but the spirit rises through that void. And let me see if I can get you guys a document. I mean, some type of backdrop to see what it is that I'm talking about. All right, let's bring this up. Okay, so you see this right here? This is the best way I can show you guys, right? If you notice on the right side where the moon side is, it is showing you a blue line. That blue line is connected to the root chakra, right? It's connected to the bottom chakra, right? But if you notice on the solar side, the conscious side, the line that goes down, it only goes down to your solar plex chakra, which is your will, right? So in order for the spirit to get over to this other side, right, the spirit must rise through the void, which is this blue line. You see the spirit is that little flame that's on there. I can't enlarge it, but the spirit is that little flame that's on there. TikTok, let me show you guys what I'm talking about, because I think I still have this backdrop inside my photos. And if I don't, I apologize. I apologize. It's been... Okay, here it go, right here. So you guys see the spirit is rising over there in the void. You know, the spirit is rising in the void over there, right? You see the spirit right here rising up, and it enters the pineal, and that's when it becomes in the soul system. That's when it enters to this consciousness. And this consciousness is not connected to the root chakra. So the root chakra, which is here, it only connects to the void side, right? This is the testa to the mint, right? So one must go through a testicles, to the mental, the mind, right? So it got to rise through the void. The spirit is in the void, which is a collective subconscious past, right? And one, you got to rise into a greater conscious of self, which is a collective superior conscious into the future, right? That's the soul system. And you're entering the soul system of oneself, the soul system of mankind, right? And a lot of this knowledge is lost. A lot of this knowledge is lost. What takes place in the void? Christ gave it to you with his 40 years or 40 days of going through hell, however you want to look at it. We don't know what the days are represented in man. You know, it could be 40 years. That's why the mindset of Uranus is 40 years, and then you transfer into a Saturn state, right? And now they're forcing you into a Saturn state, but in the time of Aquarius, you'll be in the Uranus state of mind, right? Which is a childlike state, right? This is why it says only a child can enter the kingdom of heaven, or one must be like a child to enter the kingdom of heaven. However, they manipulated it and messed it up, but this is where your imagination comes in, because Uranus is considered to be the child state of being. It exists for 40 years, and then you transfer into your Saturn state mind, and that is however you want to look at it. So that's still taking place right now, but only on the void side. You will have to go through more of a Lilith type energy to get through to that humble side, which is the super conscious, the future, right? And that's rising through the void, right? And we're all going through this right now. Some people are calling it a hero's journey, a hero's challenge, however you want to look at it, but we're all going through this right now. All right. Hey, listen, don't fall victim to nothing. Don't fall victim to nothing. Study your waters. Study your waters. All right. That's what I'm doing. I'm studying my waters, the waters inside of me. Right. I'm studying my waters and studying my waters. You know what I mean? That's all I want to keep on trying to control. Listen, be water. Water can flow or water can crash. Be flowing. Be flowing. I tell myself this all the time. You know? You better start telling yourself this stuff too. All right, so we're gonna close out the TikTok, but we are gonna keep not close out the TikTok. We're gonna close out the YouTube, but we're gonna stay on TikTok for a little bit. For that's on the phone, and I can take that outside with me because I'm about to go sit outside for a little bit. So anybody that want to continue the conversation, please feel free to go over to the TikTok. You guys know where it's at, and if not, I'll post it in the Discord right now so the people in the Discord can know what TikTok page I'm on, because we operate on multiple pages on TikTok. Where's my share button at? Oh, they put the share thing in the whatchamacallit.
Let me get a picture of your background.
1 second. Let me move my big head out the way. And shout out to Lids for always providing those nice hats. Hold on. Yeah, pause because I'm posting something in my Discord. All right, there you go. So yeah, listen, if nobody told you that they love you today, let us be the first and not the last to say that we love you. Remember, one's image of oneself should be greater than reality, right? And as we close out with one or variations of our songs, I hope you guys loved and enjoyed the knowledge that we put out there. That's the start of the day. We will be going live again later on in the day, bringing you something different. And please feel free to hit the Cash App. We are trying to do some things, if you don't mind. And if you can't do it, I understand. Mother's Day was just, not too long ago. Everybody is pretty much tapped. But just put good thought on it. Just put good thought on it.
The party's going on in the disco.
No, it's fun. You know what it is. Get over to the Discord. What? Over. That's what we doing.
So I better see you in the disco.
I'll see you there.
We got music, we got art. Love is love, sets us apart. It's a virtual town, so inviting. They want you around, it's exciting. Oh, the party's going on in the disco.
Who else got a Discord song? Huh? There ain't too many people out there with a Discord song. We got a Discord jingle. Huh?
So I better see you in the Discord. Story time, movie nights. We get messy and watch the fights. It's a virtual town and it's glowing. Very busy with the love we've been showing. Oh, the party's going on in the Discord. Ooh, you can never be bored in the Discord.
We got a Discord mob.
We're over there, socializing and sharing.
Do you hear me? Who got that?
So I better see you in the Discord. In the Discord.
I mean, we really got a whole album, don't we, guys? We sitting over on the album right now. We about to produce an album. Atlas Family, Sister Wise. Hey, we got the whole album. Tell them. Huh? Exclusive music.
I ride with my brothers. Yeah. Cause when I win, they win. That's love. In the storm, I ride with my brothers. I ride. Cause when I win, they win. That's love. When I win, they win. That's love. When I win, they win. That's love. I ain't never tripping on shit. That's us. I ain't never tripping on shit. That's us. All of my brothers, we moving together. We moving as one. All of my brothers, we moving together. We moving as one. All of my brothers, we moving together. We moving as one. All of my brothers, we moving together. We moving as one.
What's wrong with my brother?
Cause when I win,
That's love.
Cause when I win, they win. That's love.
When I win, they win. That's love.
the sky.
They said we dropped
His
this album.
arms so strong,
People gonna be
we
riding,
all
taking
break.
trips
With
listening to
every
this.
step, he helps us away.
And don't forget about the store. We do have the Atlas store. Make sure y'all stop over.
Move as one, moving in love.
I'm gonna get ready for the next month lineup.
Move as one, moving in love. Move as one, moving in love. Move as one, moving in love. Atlas eyes on the prize and it's crystal clear. Now we realize what brought us here. His heart of gold and lights our way. He paid the toll for a brighter day. Move as one, moving in love. Move as one, moving in love. Move as one, moving in love. Move as one, moving in love.
Love is love. Namaste. Salutations. Shalom. Peace.
Reach for